Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing fine today. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here talking to all of you, all my friends, flat earth friends, all over the plane. I have a whole bunch of people from Brazil in the chat today. Hello, everyone in Brazil. Hello, everyone in Ohio, Arkansas. I'm here with Huntsville, Alabama. Shout out to all NASA employees at NASA, Huntsville. Hey, Earth is flat. Shout out to all of you. I've been there a couple times. And Texas, hello Texas, whistleblower. So how much of people here from everywhere? Flight power and much love, family. Justin, shout out to you, Justin. Okay, Mike Smith is gonna be here. I'm gonna have Mike Smith, Canada. I think first week of June he'll be here. I'm not gonna have show next week. So I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk to you about it. Matthew Hakim is supposed to meet to be here today. He's got the invitation. But anyway, guys, I want to start off sharing this website. I just got it notification on Facebook, and so I want to go ahead and share this with you guys. Now I don't know much about it. I just got the notification a few hours ago. It's a Flat Earth Astronomical Mode website. It's called Flat Earth Model Lab Web. By considering the celestial sphere as a personalized projection for each observer, we can reconcile the individual experiences of astronomical phenomena with the evidence of singular physical celestial bodies. This results in an astronomically accurate flat Earth model. So this website, it's new to me. I just received this notification about like 4 hours ago. Haven't played with, but for all of you, all the information is right here. I believe you can customize sun and moon. Everything is here. Sun, moon, observer one, observer two, and all right. So let me go ahead and place this link here in the chat. I hope you guys can hear me. I haven't checked the telephone, the mic check yet. So first link, this website that it's a flat Earth model, okay, for the luminaries, sun and the moon. So you can explore. I don't know how it works yet. As I said, I just got this email about a couple 4 hours ago. All right. So this is the first link that I want to share with you guys. And now the second one, this one we have talked before. Shout out to Seven Club. He is the one who initially, let me hide this comment real quick here so we can see better. So shout out to Seven Club on TikTok. He was the very first one who shared this information here about the mockup on Johnson Space Center in Houston. So this we know that if we go here somewhere, we need to. I don't want to go there now. Maybe later. I want to show this one first. Okay. Let me see if I can get in here. Yeah, see the pictures. All right, so this is a mock-up center, right? Somebody, I saw this one video not recently. I mean, recently. So what they do here, guys, is basically this is like a shop, right? That's where they make all the mock-ups. Okay, that they pretended that it's the real thing, but it's all mock-up. They make the models, and you see everything in the shop here. How they do all the modeling here. They claim to be like a museum or something, but this is where they do all the models, all the stuff. And if you look, these are like you see tools, like wood, papers, and everything that you would find in a shop where they build models. They would build mock-up stuff. Right, so this is the uh, one of them. So this is let me see if I can go back here. I'm gonna try to go inside the IIS somewhere here. We've done this before. And sometimes it works. Okay, there we are inside the ISS. Now, we've covered this before a couple times. Okay, this is the entire mock-up of the ISS at Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. So there is a way for you to go around these rooms here. You can go, right and left and do the tour here. Okay, hi, we are here with. I think it'll go over here. Let me see. It's not working for me. I don't know what's going on. But you guys can, if you're lucky enough, sometimes you can take the tour here and go to different places. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so this is the Johnson Space Center, the mock-up facility in Texas. So let me check just to see if everything's all right. Matthew is in the house. What's going on,
Hello, can
Matthew?
hello, can you hear me?
I can hear pretty well, loud and clear, brother. How are you?
I'm feeling good, man. Nice to be on your show again and see you, talk with you. Cool.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, I do want to talk to you about the debates, couple of debates you went through, but I want to go ahead and just start this video. It's going to take about 15 minutes, and I want you and we will be commenting on what's going on here. Okay?
All right, let's take a look at it.
All right. So, guys, can you all hear both of us? All right. Let me know here in the chat real quick if you can hear both of us, Matthew and myself. Guys, hello, UK. UK. What's going on, UK? Kai in the house. So, shout out to Andre. Andre is a Brazilian guy, flat earther. He lives in Boston. We talked on the phone last night. And
Nice.
man, they are on something with this thermodynamics here. So we're gonna be looking at this stuff. Well, I get. Oh yeah, audio is good, so we're good to go. Okay. So let's go
Cool.
ahead and get started into this stuff here. So I'm gonna share my screen again and start the video. Here's one. So perhaps I should show this one here first. So I'm kind of new to this. I'm learning. So I talked to this guy last night. So we know that in thermodynamics, the hot temperature will equalize, and the heat will flow towards the cold. Okay, this is what we learn. But the reality, Matthew, is this thing right here. Okay, the molecules will always fight to be above of the cold one. It will like escalate. Okay, so based on this, let's go ahead and start this video full screen. So Gravity Debunked by Thermodynamics, original Portuguese by Além das Nuvens Prime. It's a YouTube channel, so shout out to you guys. So let's go ahead and get started here. So there's no audio. We're just going to watch and talk about it, okay?
Okay, let's take a look.
So that's definition. Thermodynamics is the study of the relations between heat, work, temperature, and energy. The laws of thermodynamics describe how the energy in a system changes and whether the system can perform useful work. So it's similar to this thing here. The guys are escalating, to a higher because the people have energy, so they can escalate and go higher. This is how the molecules work. The heated uh, molecules, since they have more energy, they will escalate to the top and leave the cold molecules on the bottom. So just
Even
like you
air,
see,
right? Like
yeah,
even
even
air
there,
itself, there will be different, like not just oxygen, but there will be other types of gases in the air also, and it'll
exactly.
stack on top of each other.
Exactly. So this is
Yep.
him
And
performing this experiment, Matthew. You see the water there is, he has a 132 Fahrenheit, pretty hot. He has the cold water there, 12 degrees Celsius, 53 Fahrenheit. And that ball is just room temperature. Okay, just room temperature, 37 degrees, 99, Fahrenheit.
nice. And I
So,
appreciate seeing the Fahrenheit also. Like that's cool.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
like
I
seeing
added that
like the
stuff, man.
relation.
Yeah,
Cool, nice touch.
so what he did, he got a sample of the water, the room temperature water. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna place that inside both of them one at a time. So what do you think is gonna happen, Matthew, if when he places that vial with room temperature water, let's say inside that the cold water? What do you think is gonna happen?
I think there's going to be some type of reaction with the neutral water when it's exposed to either the hot or the cold.
Do you think it's
Like,
gonna
cause
float
that's
or sink?
I'm not really sure, but I know like if it was really hot and really cold, it would change the water itself from its
Yeah, the
state of
vial would
matter.
adapt, right?
But
Would
but
adapt.
but but this looks like an interesting experiment. I'd like to see what they're doing. Like
Okay,
I'd like to
so
see
you
what
have
they're.
okay, that's the hot water right there. Okay, the temperature is higher than the temperature in the vial. Okay, remember the vial is room temperature. On the left side, he has cold water. Now he's going to, let me see which one he's going to do it first. I think he's going to place in both of them. Okay, all right, there it is. He placed the room temperature vial inside the hot water. So why did it sink? Why do you think it sank?
Oh, because of the temperature,
The temperature. So the
right? When it
hot
was.
water, the molecules will push the one that's colder down. Okay,
Yeah,
has nothing to do with the gravity. Absolutely nothing to do with gravity. It's just the molecules, the hot molecules are pushing. You know. Now look at what he's gonna do
oh,
now.
okay.
What do you think is gonna happen now? Do you think it's gonna sink the vial?
Well, I was thinking about like hot air rises and cold air goes down. So I'm trying to think how that would affect the neutral water. Like if it was in cold water, it might rise up because it's hotter, right?
Right.
I'm
So,
not sure. I'd like to see what they're doing. And that does seem like an interesting experiment.
oh yeah, look at what's gonna happen. The vial, since the temperature in the vial is hotter than the cold water, it's not gonna sink all the way to the bottom. See what I mean? This water on top here, it's warmer, it's pushing the vial down, but the vial has a temperature higher than this water, so it's not gonna sink.
Yeah,
Understand?
that's pretty
Because
cool. Yeah, I get
yeah,
it. That's pretty cool. Like it
yeah,
wants to
because
be at a certain level. It wants to seek out a certain equilibrium state within the two temperatures of water, and
exactly,
that's what the
exactly,
experiment was showing. That's very
exactly.
interesting.
Yeah, and now he's gonna add a dye to identify. It's better to identify the hot water and the cold water. Okay, so he's placing a dye there in the hot water, 127 degree Fahrenheit, about 53 degrees Celsius. So that's the hot water right there, orange color, yellowish orange, and the blue, of course, for the cold water. So that shows, man, has a lot of implications, Matthew. And I will explain as we go on with these experiments right there. So, guys, in the chat, I'm not checking the chat right now. We're just going to cover this. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. So, he's going to place the vial again. Remember, the vial has, I think, I forgot if he took the temperature in the vial. Let me see.
What was it? It was something like 80, right? 85 or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I can't remember
So,
offhand, but it was like in the
okay.
middle somewhere.
I think let me see what's going to happen. If the vial has a temperature colder than the blue light water, it means it's going to sink. Let's see, I forgot. We were talking. Okay, the same thing there. Let me see if it's going to sink. No. So the vial has a temperature in between the top and the bottom. So that's why it's in the middle. Okay?
Yeah, and
So it has
it's
not
cool that that the water has the color too to show that like to show what's being expressed here. Like the cold water will stay lower, and the
You're
hot
right.
water will stay above it.
Exactly. And since the vial has a temperature in between, it's not going to sink. So where is gravity right there? Gravity cannot, it's gravity is easily overcome by the temperature, by the heat, by energy.
No, there is no gravity. There is no gravity. That doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist at all. All right. So interesting
Yeah,
because
there's
he's
no
going
there's
to,
down. Yeah, there's the
yeah,
down, right? But there's no gravity.
exactly. And he's going to repeat this by changing the temperature in the vial. So you're going to see. So let's now apply energy heat to the vial and see what happens. So the vial, the temperature will be hotter than both containers, So now
It's gonna
you see
rise.
there?
It's gonna go
Yeah,
up. I think
it's
it's
going to
gonna go
rise.
up once it.
That's what's going to happen. So you have the cold water about the same temperature, 53 Fahrenheit. The hot water is getting a little bit less hotter because it's took him several hours to conduct that experiment.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So
I've
look, the
never
vial
seen that
now
before.
has a temperature of 129 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. So again, he's gonna add the dye. Okay, cold water right there. Man, they are spending time and money. They are buying those equipments. They're not buying cheap equipments. Like he was showing me the price. One is small scale, like $300. You know,
For
he
what?
showed me he bought like three vacuum chambers. He showed me last night. So you see there, the vial, remember,
Oh,
has a
this is your
temperature of
friend, right? Like
yeah,
this
yeah,
guy
yeah.
is your buddy. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. So now you see the vial. The temperature in the vial is higher than the temperature in the hot water. So what happens is it's going to float because the energy, according to thermodynamics, the molecules will fight to stay above. It will push down the molecules that are colder. Okay? So it's
Yeah.
floating there and it's going to float again because the temperature there is higher. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is pretty
Hmm.
cool.
So the temperature in the vial is 129 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's fighting to stay above. It's going to push down the molecules, the colder molecules. So where is gravity there again? Once again, a little bit of energy and heat changed the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah. See, it's there's no gravity. It's non-existent.
So now let's remove heat or energy from the vial and see what happens. So he's going to do the same thing and he's going to have cold water inside the vial.
Nice.
And of
I,
course, it's gonna go down.
yeah, because it's cold, and it'll want to seek the lowest level because it's cold,
Yeah, yeah.
or
And
because
the
it'll be colder
warmer,
than what is around it.
yeah, the hot molecules will push it down. Okay, it's gonna push it down. So
And
pretty
this is
cool.
also very thorough. Like I like that there's the different demonstrations are being shown, like in the
Exactly.
medium range, and then when it's
Yeah,
really hot, and then now this one it'll be kind of cold. I guess
yeah, yeah. The vial. See, it's 55
it's a good way
degree
to do
Fahrenheit. It's gonna be colder than both containers. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I did it, and I added the temperature in Fahrenheit because for the people in the US, it's better to understand what's going on here. He's going to apply the dye again, which will help us to identify the samples. So he's got like the hot 127 Fahrenheit. That's not room temperature. That's kind of cold, 66 Fahrenheit. But remember, the vial is like down to 50 something, so it's much colder.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll seek the to go to the very bottom.
Yeah, yes. So that's what he's gonna do there.
That's cool.
Place. Yeah, man. I mean, they are making. Now I'm gonna tell you what else they're doing, he kind of briefed me last night, and so he didn't add the dye. I think he ran out, but that's the hot water, 127 Fahrenheit. Of course, he did sink because the molecules, the hot energized molecules, will push it down. Okay, has nothing to do with
Yeah.
gravity. And now, since the vial is colder than the blue water, which is cold, it's gonna go all the way to the bottom one more time. So this has nothing to do with gravity. It's just like the heated molecules, which is more energized, will push the vial down. It's not gravity, you know.
So if somehow there could be a device within that little that thing to make it hot, then it would just rise easily.
E- Exactly. If you
Like that would
apply
be really
energy,
that'd be weird technology. Like and then it would let it cool down and it goes down.
see there,
Like there, yeah,
it's
that's
all the way
they
from the
see it.
bottom because now let me tell you what's going on, Matthew. They are doing a lot of
Okay.
experiments and they collected air from up higher. They released some balloon, high temperature balloon. I mean, high altitude balloons. They collected air, and the thing is, uh, so that's the video. Thank you, Alain Horizontes Prime. Shout out to you. Let me go back here and
Nice.
remove this. So what's going on, Matthew?
Nice.
They collected some samples of air, and we all think that the denser air, heavier air is below and the lighter air is on top. But also, the problem is the density is the same. It's just like the air on top is more heated and it's pushing down the colder molecules. Okay, the consistency is about the same. That's what they found out. It's the same. The air on top, it's not that it's has is less dense. It's just like it's more heated, has more energy. And just like we saw in the experiment right now, it's pushing down the colder molecules. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is it's pretty cool. And it's interesting what happens when it's hot, like when the sun comes through and then as it goes away, how that same air is charged. And I
Right.
see it often here where I live, how the sky looks purple and pink and orange. It's like it's usually before sunrise and then a little bit it after that and then before sunset and a little bit after that. And it's just
I
very interesting. And then the air too, how when it heats up, it does move a lot. Like the wind increases and everything, and when it's cold too, that's an
Yeah,
interesting
man.
presentation. I like that one.
So he is in the house, but I think he's in church right now. And Andre is not really fluent in English. I asked him to come over and talk more about it. He told me he needs to, you know, get more fluent in English, so he'll be here. But the other thing, like we have, like in Brazil, when they play soccer, for example, they play like regional championships, like Brazil plays against Peru or Ecuador. So when the Brazilian team goes to play in Bolivia, Bolivia is really high in temperature, and I mean not temperature, altitude. It's like I don't know, 3,000 miles, meters above sea level, 2,000 meters. I don't remember. So the Brazilian soccer players always have a hard time playing there. They always lose because they can't breathe, you know, because of the temperature. But the people who are there, they can't because they are used to. All right. So according to Andrea, and we were talking last night, man, it's not that we have less oxygen on top. It's just like we're not used to. You can adapt. You actually know if it was possible, just like think about it, Matthew, when they were building the Tower of Babel, they reached certain height, okay? And they were able to breathe and work because they're working with bricks, you know? And they were breathing. As you go up, you can adapt if you go slowly, you know? Yeah,
Or
of course, if you go in one,
they could have a technology too in the past that
yeah, yeah,
oxygen that would have been easy for them if they could
yeah,
have done the things that they left behind. Simple things would have been very easy.
right. But he was telling me like some people, like when you go and you climb Mount Everest, some people need to have oxygen masks and stuff. But some people, because they have been going there so for so many times, they are adapting. Some people are able
Yeah,
to stay on top of the Everest without any oxygen masks.
yeah. And you know what that reminds me of? The people that do deep diving for pearls. Like it's
Right, right.
like the people that live in those islands, they could be down there for,
Caribbean.
well, not just there, but also like maybe in Asia too. Like the people that could swim down for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, no problem. That's, and
Okay.
then for other people, it might be very difficult to even hold their breath for 1 minute. Like that would be kind of difficult.
Yeah, man, I can't stay like a minute underwater. And these people stay like I have on my book a lady. She had back in the 90s the world record. She spent 6 minutes, man, underwater, and her record has been beaten already. So I can't imagine someone staying like 5 minutes underwater. And she dove for clams and seashells and stuff like that. She grew up in the Caribbean and she did it this since
Yeah.
she was a kid, and she thought, well, that's what I've been doing since I was a kid. So you can adapt. So if it was possible, Matthew, for us to slowly climb, not in 1 hour, 2 hours like they do, but it's possible to breathe up there. If we could do this, slowly. Very interesting, man. I really, I'm gonna bring more of this stuff
Well, even
because
diving too. Like I don't know too much about scuba diving, but it's the same kind of thing. You don't want to go down too quickly because something about the blood has to change as you go down. Have you heard
exactly.
about that? Or I've
Yeah,
never
yeah,
done
yeah,
it, but
yeah. I did
they
the
don't want
same
to just
thing
go
when
straight down.
they are climbing up, like the guys in submarine. I think they got to do it really slowly. They can't just climb up fast. Got to go really slowly.
Yeah, they'll die. Something happens with the blood, like they'll die. If they go straight down, it's too much of a stress on the body. That
Exactly.
makes
Well,
sense.
shout out to whistleblower in Texas. He just told me La Paz is 3,650 meters high, so about 2,000 miles, man.
Nice.
A little bit more, 2,200 miles long. Imagine you used to play soccer like in Sao Paulo, sea level, and then you go play. And that's why when you watch, man, I watch those games, Brazilian soccer players, they just fall on the field. They can't run for 90 minutes, 45 minutes. They just can't because it's too fast. They can't make that change.
Yeah, of
So,
course. And then, I mean, they don't live there, so I mean, they probably don't get a lot of chance to train or what is it called, acclimate to the altitude.
yeah, yeah,
So
you
yeah,
actually have to.
they would just suffer.
All right. So shout out a lot of people here.
Nitrogen. Oh, that's interesting.
Hey, Matthew, do you have your YouTube? Did you turn on the volume or something?
On my on my phone, no, I didn't change it. Is my
Because
volume okay?
I start getting echo now, and
Okay. Well, have my headphones in and I'm using my cell phone.
YouTube. Do you have YouTube on?
No, it's
That,
just through
that,
the browser, StreamYard.com.
okay, that's
Okay,
weird.
that's weird.
I start getting
I
echo.
start getting echo.
Is it from my side? Is it me?
Because I haven't
Because I
changed
haven't changed
anything.
anything.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't hear it. I think it sounds okay.
Can you guys hear an
Can you
echo
guys
there? Please
hear
let me
an
know.
echo there? Please let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an
On
echo.
my
People.
Yeah,
side,
there is an
I
echo.
I think it's okay on my side. I don't hear it.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna remove you.
Okay,
Just
hold on. I'm gonna remove you. Just
hey guys, can you hear an echo now? No, echo is gone. So Matthew, I think
I think.
can you let me see now.
Can you? Let's see now.
Now, when you
Now,
got back, the
when
echo
you got
started
back,
again.
the
Can you
echo
exit
started again.
and come
Can
back?
you exit and come back?
Okay, I'll exit out and then come back.
All right. So guys, yeah, sorry about the echo. We're trying to fix this. I think it's on on Matthew's side. So yeah, I guess the echo is gone now. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we're gonna be talking more about this. Uh, yeah, I had the echo when Matthew was in. So let's see. Once I got him out of the show. The echo was gone. So I'm gonna add him back now.
Now,
Hi, Bart. Are
Okay.
you back?
Is it
No.
okay?
Hello,
It's
guys.
still not good.
Hey, guys. Can you hear echo now? No, echo is gone. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So don't know what was going on here, but let me know, guys. Yeah, no echo. So
Okay.
Ramon Gonzalez, shout out to you. And someone was posting stuff here about the nitrogen. Francis makes you can't read it right now. Makes you act funny sometimes, and as your body gets saturated, the longer you remain at that. So then you have to take decompression rates at particular depth. So we gotta go
Yeah,
slowly
that's the
back,
word.
come back slowly.
Decompression. That's the word I couldn't think of. That's decompression. That's right.
Right, right. So that's what we have been up to, man, studying this thermodynamic stuff. It totally debunks,
Cool.
man, gravity. Totally debunks, man. You
Well,
apply energy that's
everything
gonna
debunks
lift.
gravity.
Yeah,
In one of my that one debate that got through, I just explained it really simply that gravity can't be duplicated or observed, so it doesn't exist. It's like a suggestion,
exactly, man. All right,
right?
so I
Think of
think
it.
the echo is gone.
Okay, nice. But
Okay, so
yeah,
Matt,
like gravity. I just like when they say that mass attracts mass, we don't see that ever. And there's never greater the mass, the greater the force of attraction. We never see that, because heavier objects should fall faster if that was true, but it's not.
yeah. So there's someone from Huntsville in the chat. Shout out to Huntsville, Alabama. Shout out to all
Nice.
NASA employees in Huntsville. Yeah, there is a NASA like a center in Huntsville, man. We've been there visiting. All right, I want
Yeah.
to talk to you about your debate. So, what's going on? Tell me about your debate. I know you went on a debate with Professor PhD PhD PhD
No, they
Tony,
were
right?
cool.
Tony.
Yeah, those
Okay.
guys were PhD Tony and T Jump. I
Yeah,
took
yeah, yeah.
on those with Nathan.
Right.
Cool dude.
So
Pitch Lumen.
I did watch the one with MC2, and he did a one debate you, and the whole thing turned like into I don't know. He just didn't want to go on a debate with you. You want to talk
Well,
anything about it?
I want to offer McToon a rematch. I don't know if he was too psyched out or whatever. I mean, I was ready for him, and then it was good. It was excellent how my partner Ross later went on his show and defeated both of them. he debated both of them and defeated them easily. So big shout out to Ross the Boss Perry from Real Offended YouTube channel. But yeah, I would say that I'll give him a rematch if he wants. I don't have any debates lined up, but I had a lot of good information to share that it destroys the globe theory. Facts that contradict the idea of the spinning ball Earth. There's quite a few things. I think I was sharing the message with you about the full moon in November. How there's going to be another one in August, but the full moon in November is going to be, for me, 12 minutes before, the full moon's going to rise 12 minutes before the sun rises. So that's going to be one of those opportunities to, take some pictures, get some videos, because it totally destroys the idea that the moon is being illuminated by the sun, especially for
Wow.
them to both be rising at the same time. Because I could understand globers, seeing the sun over on one side and then the full moon on the other side. I could understand them thinking that. But when they're in almost the same spot in the sky, which I'm not sure when that's going to be from my perspective, but that destroys the globe theory, 100%.
Totally.
And I was
Yeah.
going to go over that because these people, the globers, they talk a lot about predicting stuff, predicting this and that. But what about when the predictions contradict them, right? You've
Yeah.
probably seen the debates. Oh, the globe predicts this and that, and the globe predicts the lunar eclipse and all that, and then it's nothing but like a deception. It's just a lie. Everything that comes out of them is a lie. They're motivated by getting super chats and other nefarious deals, such as the debate being simulcast. I didn't know they were going to debate, that was going to have the debate on one channel and on McToon's channel. I didn't know that. When we were talking, all I knew is we weren't live yet. And we were just talking about when that went down with McToon and Globy. I thought that was just us talking, but there's deals going on. There's people making money.
Oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't be
man.
I wouldn't be surprised if these are the government shill agents that YouTube is supporting. Like YouTube wants these people to do their thing. Like not a Professor Dave. Like they'll create an army of chatbots to go each one give him $5, $10, and it's not even a real person. Like
Yeah.
the chatbots that talk trash on my videos and the chatbots that talk trash on your videos. It's not a person. You know what I mean? It's not even
Yeah.
like a real human being typing that. It's just like a software.
It is.
It's
It is.
crazy. But
Well,
that's why it's enjoyable to debate the people.
same
Like
thing when I
you,
had that pilot. He wanted to have the show. I didn't know, man. He wanted to have the link, and he didn't tell me, but he wanted to have actually simultaneously broadcast at McToon's channel. And as I told him, like, I don't monetize. I can't monetize. I don't. YouTube will not let me. And you want to use my show so somebody else can make money? You know?
yeah, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Um, but so technically, you did debate that guy, and I think you did really good. I
Yeah,
remember
man.
that.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And then you know what? Honestly, it's very fun debating them because on my debate with Tony and T Jump, I was just cracking up. Like everything they said was so funny, like dumb and funny to me, knowing the truth, and then like having to explain simple things. right?
Yeah,
Like they're so educated. It's like they're so, I forget what the Bible passage is, but it's like they're so, they'll call themselves wise. Or I forget
Romans.
what,
It's in
but they're
Romans,
just, they're like dumb.
calling
It's like
themselves
yeah,
wise,
they
they
profess
became
themselves to be
fools.
wise. Yeah, and it's so easy because like arguing with truth on my side against them. And it's very fun to me, and I just remember cracking up, and it went for what, like 3.5 hours, and I just enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like looking back, it's fun. Like it's really cool, and I hope they invite me back to modern day debate. I like those guys. I even like the Globers, most of them. You know, the only one I felt weird about was McToon. You know, but the other guys were okay. You know that, and it's definitely fun.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got tired of seeing always the same guys, always the same guys. I've been
Well,
listening to
yeah,
some debates. Go ahead.
well,
Go ahead.
I I kind of feel the same way. I like that there's just regular people just coming out from nowhere, just like, yeah, you know, I'll debate these guys, and just watching them, and it's just seeing how bad the Globers are at debating, and I don't know. I think I kind of agree with you. Like I would like to see more people.
Yeah,
You know,
I've been
just normal
enjoying.
people.
I've been enjoying catch some of these debates on TikTok because they are more spontaneous. Like the guy just go on and start, making his points, and some people you never saw before. Some of them, like Feathers, like shout out to Angels of Lights, man. I didn't know this guy, and he is really good at debating. He's been all that pilot. I have a video of a pilot there, Marco. Man, the guy was so triggered, and Angel was pretty cool, man. Man, you gotta see that the guy looks like he's gonna have a heart attack or something. So this is the verse
Yeah,
here. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
yeah, and they talk so much trash about flat earthers, you know, and I don't really want to call a Glober dumb, but like what they say is pretty dumb. You
Yeah.
know, like it, I don't know how to explain that one, but
All right. I
it's
wanna
interesting.
show you some stuff here, Matthew, and to everyone also. Okay. This is the path of the ISS according to the globe. Okay. You see here the globe, and you see here on the Mercator projection, right? This is the path of the ISS. Now, we see here they never go over the North Pole or either the Antarctic. Okay, they don't go. This is how they do. And I have another one here showing the path, comparing this path on the flat Earth. So you see the ISS there, how they never cross over the North Pole, which they can't, and they cannot go over the Antarctica because it's not a spinning ball. So what interesting, someone posted a video this week. They went to NOAA, NOAA, North Oceanic Atlantic Atmospheric, something like that. And the data
Yeah, I've
there,
heard of
man,
it.
was oh yeah, it was totally missing Antarctica. They had a globe which you could like change the orientation, but when you went to Antarctica, it was like a black hole, a big black hole, was missing. You know, totally missing the
Yeah,
information.
that's very funny. That is funny too that they have it like that. Like it's just
Yeah.
missing. Like what did
So
they think people will like no one's going to question that? Like I've done it myself looking on Google Maps, right? Like around the
right,
Grand Canyon. And it's like why are these areas blurry and missing? What's
exactly,
there?
man. So this is the
The
data
great
we get.
unknown. Wow, that's cool.
That's what we get. The data is right this region. Not this is the great unknown. They cannot get any data from here, at least not making them public to us. Of course, the center here, the North Pole, we don't know what's going on. And even
Yes,
this
that's
is where we
difficult.
are. This is where we are right here, Matthew. And even to go from one side to the other, man, it's a hassle. You know, like for me to go to visit Australia, man, I have to make a whole bunch of stuff and get like a medical and pay a police fee. I have to pay the police of Australia just to visit their country. Man, it's so
Yeah, it's
complicated.
corrupt. A quick note about Australia. Like as an American, I didn't know how their liberty is all taken away. You know, even Canada also. Like as an American, I used to think that like Australia and Canada, they were more free than the United States, but I guess as it turns out, it's not true. I think
No,
we're a
man,
little bit more free in the United States.
I think
I
so
think
too.
China is having a big deal with that too. Like
Oh
how
yeah,
China was having deals with the Australian police.
exactly.
That's not good.
So I got something really interesting, good stuff that you mentioned about that, Australia and Canada. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, man. It's gonna make your blood boil. Let's
Oh,
watch
okay.
it.
Things are about to get extra
All right. Okay,
dystopian
here
in
we go.
Canada now that Justin Trudeau's regime just introduced a new anti-free speech bill, C-63, also known as the Online Harms Bill, which would effectively give the police the power to search the internet for social media posts, comments that are considered hate speech violations. Talk about George Orwell 1984. Here's the catch though, it gets worse. These offenses would apply to anything even if you posted it before the bill was made, essentially making anything that you ever posted up online ever as a potential problem. Fines can go up to $50,000, and if you advocate for something more serious like genocide, life in prison, which means that words alone can lead to life imprisonment. In addition, it also forces social media companies like Facebook, X, Rumble, YouTube to minimize the risk that users will be exposed to harmful content, and if they don't, massive fines for them as well. These bureaucrats must be stopped at all costs. I want Canada to remain a free country, not some totalitarian nightmare. Join me on Discord to talk about it.
Isn't that interesting, man?
I didn't on my side. I didn't see it.
Oh
I'm
no.
sorry, Eddie. On mine, it didn't show it on my screen. Can you describe it to me what it was?
Okay, is this guy talking about the bills being introduced in Canada, where if any like online contents will be made perhaps criminal if you post anything that goes against the narrative, and that's going to be retroactive, meaning even stuff that you wrote like 5 years ago, you can get in trouble with, against government or against anything that's against the narrative, and they are trying to fight this stuff off because the bill has been introduced, in the Canada
And
uh,
that's interesting. That
parliament.
reminds me of here in the United States, they have the anti what is it? Like we can't say anything bad about Israel
Yeah, yeah.
or
So,
criticize Israel. I mean, I
so
don't have any I don't criticize Israel that much. I
yeah,
mean, even Biden is telling them that's kind of getting out of hand, like their war. So
yeah. That,
If even Biden is saying, "Hey, Israel's like kind of out of control," it's like okay.
so shout out to Flat Earth Nurse, man, in Canada. I think I talked about this last week. Into 2023, Matthew, a million Canadians left Canada. 1 million Canadians. Okay, left for somewhere else. Okay, if YouTube has a lot of videos of totally abandoned mansions, man, in Toronto area, like beautiful house. They just left, left everything behind. So
Yeah.
to prevent
Uh,
that, Trudeau is going to charge. He's trying to pass this bill charging Canadians $25,000 if they plan to leave the country.
a really quick side note.
Yeah,
Uh, when I think about the Tartaria, how they had all those empty buildings, what if it was something like that? They just taxed the people so much, they just decided to leave all these beautiful buildings. But
yeah,
about taxing the people, that's incredible. $25,000 if they plan on leave, that turns their country into a prison.
exactly, man.
Trudeau is turning Canada into a prison.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
Americans can leave if Americans can afford it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
we can go, or like you. I bet you could get a place in the United States if you wanted to.
yeah.
It's freedom, but that they can't leave. That's weird.
That's
They
weird.
want to they want to kill their own people and tax them. That's I don't know.
Right. Now, somebody posted, Monty, shout out to you, Monty. Remember that movie where they would arrest you before you did a crime? There was a movie with Tom Cruise. What's the name of the movie?
Minority Report.
Yeah, Minority Report. Yeah,
That
I
was a
got it
good
right
one.
here.
That was a good one.
Yeah, man. Good movie. So that's what they are trying to
But
do,
then
you know?
again, I mean, the only way they could really like arrest someone is if they're like threatening crimes. Like I threatened this person that I'm gonna do this, and then okay, that's a kind of like a future crime, but that's
Right.
specific.
Yeah.
But to just scan someone's brain and oh, this person may do this, I'm against that 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, shout out to Lightning 300. I have one more video to play since we talk about Canada and Australia, and that also would make your blood boil, man. But I don't know. I'm afraid that you're not going to be able to watch it. Okay, this is a little
Well,
bit longer.
I'll give it a try. Just give it a
Okay,
try, and if it doesn't, just explain it to me again.
okay, that's 4 minutes long. It can give you time to go get a water or something. So let's watch this one.
Nice. All right.
Just wondering, mate. What are your thoughts on the digital ID?
I know zero much about it.
You know nothing about it. What about you, sir? You don't know anything about it either. Any thoughts on the digital ID?
No thoughts.
None at all. What about you, sir? You got any thoughts on the digital ID?
Move on, please.
Move on, please. What about you, sir? Any thoughts on the digital ID? No? What about you, miss? You got any thoughts on the digital ID? No comment? Any thoughts on the digital ID? No? What about you, sir? You got any thoughts on the digital ID? You, sir? No thoughts? It's a pretty simple question. You haven't got any thoughts on it at all. What about you, sir? No? Any thoughts on the digital ID? No? Sir? Any thoughts on the digital ID? How are you? You good? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. No? Any thoughts on the digital ID? No thoughts at all. Morning, sir. How are you? You got any thoughts on the digital ID? None? How about you, sir? Any thoughts on digital ID? Nothing at all. It's astounding. What about you, sir? Any thoughts on the digital ID? None at all. Madam? Ma'am? Miss? No thoughts at all? What about you, sir? No thoughts on the digital ID? I'm not even going to get a mention out of him. What about you, sir? You haven't got anything at all to say about it? Miss? Sir? How are you, all right? Any thoughts on the digital ID?
Today.
Not today, not allowed to say, or just no thoughts at all?
No thoughts.
No thoughts. What about you two guys? Morning, how are you?
Morning.
No thoughts on the digital ID?
No thoughts.
No thoughts at all. It's astounding, isn't it? We'll just do a quick count. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22 cops standing out here. Not one single one of them's got, there's 23 just walking up now. Not one single one of them have got any notion whatsoever about the digital ID. It's astounding. We've got a couple more over here on bikes. People are probably starting to flood out into the street, blocking off a bit of traffic, which is probably not a good thing. But we'll see how the day turns out.
There were 78 police officers from Victoria alone facing criminal charges, including incest. Now, the fact that we know this is wild because the Australian made the police release the police crime data from Victoria. the fact that this isn't public knowledge every single time they get charged is absolutely wild to me. But of those 78, 3 charges of rape, 5 sexual assault charges, 19 sex charges, in addition to a range of sex offences allegedly committed against children aged under 16, and 1 police officer facing a charge of incest relating to a sibling. These are serving police officers. These are the people that are supposed to be investigating these crimes, and they're out there committing them. It's ballistic.
All right, I don't know if you got anything of it. Were you able to watch?
No,
Okay.
I wasn't able to see it. So could you please tell me what was going on in the video?
All right, if you saw in the chat, a lot of people were commenting. Well, this guy, there was this protesting in Australia where they are they are coming up with the digital ID in Australia. It's like they are really going forward to that. The government's really pushing this. So some people were protesting, and the police officer were all around surrounding the protesters. And this guy went over with his phone, just like, what are your thoughts on the digital ID? No cop would comment. No, none of them. He would go to the next cop. What are your thoughts on the digital ID? No comment. No comment. Move along. Get out of here, So it's just like the police officers everywhere, not only in Australia, but they are like, they only take orders and they only follow orders. They don't think by themselves, like, man, this digital ID is going to mess up with me as well. They don't think about it. And right after that, the guy was,
it does.
yeah. Right after that, the other guy was showing like, at the same time, a lot of those police officers were committing crimes, and people were not really reporting them. No, they were being reported, but it's like they can do whatever they can do, whatever they want to do, So that's the video.
Tell me this. Tell me this.
Yeah.
Australian history, right? Okay, when did Australia stop being a prison colony?
Exactly. That's Iron Horse commenting right there. Australia has always been a penal colony since 1780.
Oh, nice. Nice. So he got it.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Iron Horse.
Yeah,
I saw him do a debate. He did good. He did good in the debate I saw.
Yeah. Iron Horse is
I remember that.
Aussie.
He's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of places are bad, but for some reason, English-speaking countries, not the US, but Canada, New Zealand, and Australia, they are like ahead, like they are really pushing this stuff, this control. And then some people saying that Brazil is the same. The Brazilian president, he wants also tax people who wants to leave the country, just like Trudeau.
But like, what purpose would that serve, though? Like to trap the people?
To trap the people to prevent them from, seeking
that seems
better.
pretty excessive.
Yeah, man.
Like that's like he's a dictator. So Trudeau is a dictator.
Yeah.
They should just vote. They should got to try to at least vote him out. But if it's rigged,
it's all rigged, man. So complicated, this stuff, Financial slaves, people are having their opinion here. Financial slaves, and
but a lot of the time the people they put it on themselves. It's a weird cycle. Like people hate the Masons, but then they love money, and they need money, and they want to be near the money.
Yeah,
and they use it. Right? I mean, it's a weird way to say it, but it's like it's all over the money.
Right.
People can't escape to the jungle, right? But I think people should try to escape to the United States. We're still free here a little bit. A little bit. We're still free. It's crazy here, but I would say everyone escape here.
Land of the free.
Get out of Australia while you can. Yeah.
Land of the free.
It is. It feels that way. There's a lot of crime. That's true. But
Matthew, I'm now playing a song and it shows, so I'm gonna go ahead and play a song now. It's about 4 minutes long. Like, give us time to get some water, go to the bathroom. Okay?
All right, that's cool.
All right, guys. So let's listen to this song. It's being I have re-edited this song, so let's go ahead and listen to it.
60 years ago, when the Russians beat us into space, we didn't deny Sputnik was up there. We didn't argue about the science or shrink our research and development budget. We built a space program almost overnight, and 12 years later, we were walking on the moon.
All the pictures that they take, walking on the moon. I know that it's a fake, walking on the moon. They think they're so clever, walking on the moon. They can last forever, walking on the moon. All the pictures that they take, walking on the moon. I know that it's a fake, walking on the moon. They think they're so clever, walking on the moon. They can last forever, walking on the moon. All the pictures that they take, walking on the moon. I know that it's a fake, walking on the moon. They think they're so clever, walking on the moon. They can last forever, walking on the moon. So they say we're sending people to outer space. No way, there's never gonna be a moon base. It's our fate. Nobody's ever going to Mars. Nobody's ever gone to the moon. Forget about it.
We didn't go there. 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 We didn't go there.
All right, guys. Cool song. All right, please visit the store, Flat Earth Bungee Store. Give us support. It's the only way to support this channel. There's no way to monetize or to do any other thing. So go here. You can, if you want to find some wall arts, you got maps there, all sorts of maps. You have Amelia Earhart flight route around the flat Earth right there. That explains better, you know, all when she took off here from Oakland, I mean, California, all she did, get this poster and just support the channel. Thanks. I'm going to place a link in the chat. So, Matthew, we are moving to the last 10, 15 minutes of our talk. So,
Okay.
so what's going on in California, brother?
In California, life is excellent. The weather's been a little bit cold, but I think it's been pretty good. There has been a lot of those college protests. That was pretty crazy. And seeing
Yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
violent, and you know what, it's like what I think of, these people probably have an idea about like hippie 1960s revolution, but it's actually the opposite. They're not talking about love and peace. They're talking about, death to Israel, and they're so stupid because these same people say death to America. So I'm very much against that. And so
I
when I
see.
see this protest going on where they're like violent, they're blocking access. Like if you saw in the news, they were blocking access for the students of the college, and everything they were doing was illegal, right? It wasn't like the '60s protesters that would just sit down and be peaceful. No, and another thing I noticed, it's being orchestrated on a bigger level by what I call corporate protesters, and they can be identified with the green reflective vests.
Yeah, I
I've
think.
seen them in
Um,
Fullerton, years ago when there was a guy who was killed by a policeman, and the people of the city were going crazy, and the protests were led by these corporate protesters with either like a green or orange reflective vest. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say that.
now, I think somehow what they're doing, I think they're provoking chaos so they can offer their solution, the digital ID, just like they're doing in Australia. Now, the same thing with someone was saying, oh, maybe all those migrants coming, 10 million, 5 million, 20 million, whatever, it's just a way for them to push for the digital ID, like, oh, now we got all these people here. We need to identify them. So everyone is going to get a digital ID. It's just
Well, it's
a
like
way.
this. The
It might be.
migrants,
I think,
the thing
yeah,
about the
they.
migrants over
Hmm,
here in the United States, a lot of those migrants, it's sad that they're victim of like sex trafficking, but a lot of the people, what they don't talk about, they're organ trafficked. They don't get to United States. There's something happening with China and the cartels in Mexico. These
wow.
people, they're getting them for their organs. They're taking them and doing terrible things. But then they get to United States and people just want to be free, right? But over
Right.
there, well, also like in Latin America, there a lot of them are Catholic or they believe in Jesus. A lot of the time, I'm not sure about your family, but a lot of people are Catholic. So it's
Right.
compatible with the United States, which has a lot of Christians. But what we see in Europe is they're getting a huge influx of people from the Middle East. They're not peaceful, and personally, I don't think their holy books are known for peace either. They don't inspire peace in their followers. Like if you look at the fruit of what their holy book, you could see what kind of result they're getting. And so all these protests in Europe, yeah, look what. Why do you think they're all anti-Israel protests in Europe? Because they let in millions of people from the Middle East, like an army.
Yeah, a lot of people, I
I'd
know.
say that's a similarity, but a difference between what's going on in America and in Europe. Like in
Yeah.
America, the people they're like more or less peaceful, looking for some sort of better life. They're not really intending on destroying a country or religion. But over there in Europe, unfortunately, yeah, they're experiencing that. That the people that are coming, the refugees, not only do they want a better life, they want to destroy the country. They want to destroy the religion of the people that's there. So it's very much different.
Yeah, they want to take over, right? Take over. All right, man. So, all right. So let me see what else we have for today. It was a good thing. You've been here like 2, 3 months ago, right? It's been a while.
Yeah, but it's always fun, and your shows are pretty good. You know, all your shows, I try to catch them live when I can, but I always enjoy them.
Yeah, I
You know,
try to
and I
make it
wanted
informative.
I want to ask you about. I think I messaged you about the speed of the stars, like how that is another flat Earth proof. Like how the stars that are near Polaris, they kind of go a certain speed, but on the further outer ring, they cover much more ground. So it's like they're faster.
They go
And I was
faster.
wondering if you could somehow make a graph of that, because I don't have that kind of like capabilities.
Yeah,
But just like a graph with the Gleason map, the azimuthal equidistant map,
yeah.
and
I saw
and
something
you
like
know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
I
No,
think it's called arc lengths or something like that. Like how the speed of the stars is. Like even though it's fixed, like I was saying, when they're further away, they cover more ground in the same amount of time. And
right.
it's an interesting flat Earth proof. And there's another one I want to share with you that I was actually gonna drop on the debate, right? Because I had a lot of information, and I actually talked about this with Chat GPT, and it didn't have an answer other than the Earth goes around the sun. But I was going to talk about the solar day, which is negative 0.05 microseconds under 24 hours, right? The solar day versus the sidereal day, which is 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.09 seconds. So, what that means, a question I would ask the glober, right? So, it's like according to heliocentrism, how is it possible that the stars rotate faster than the Earth? You know what I mean,
Yeah,
Brother Eddie,
yeah,
about that? Like the
yeah, yeah.
stars. Like, how would the stars move faster than the alleged rotation of the Earth?
I got you.
Right?
Totally. Yeah.
That's a
I have.
gotcha moment for the Globers, right? That's like tying the Glober shoes together, and they're trying to
Right.
walk away because it's
Yeah.
information that cannot be ignored. It's not irrelevant information. And that's how I figure to debate these Globers is just to stick with the contradictions of their model, right?
Yeah.
And which are
Exactly.
abundant. And they cannot ever say the Earth doesn't look flat, right? They can never say that because it does. They can never say water bends because it doesn't. We never see it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when it comes to these little things, like the sidereal day versus the solar day, it's just proof, and I was having an interesting talk with Chat GPT about that, and there's no answer. So that's my strategy when it comes to this issue of flat versus globe is just stick with reality, right?
Yeah. I
Compute
try to
the
debate.
consequences.
I try debating ChatGPT. It's just like so boring, listening to the same things. I say, I don't want to waste my time with this. So this
It is a little
animation
bit boring, yeah.
shows a little bit how the Southern Cross here rotates faster than they are aligned. They are the same position, but you can clearly see how faster he goes compared to the stars here close to Polaris.
Yes,
See?
and so yes, this is what I was picturing. And if you could put a graph also with the speed, like with the pertinent arc length information, like from this to this is over here, then from this to this is right here. and it
Okay.
will totally match. It will totally match what we're seeing here. Like this is reality right here.
Exactly. So I'm gonna check out the new website. I just placed the link here. Uh, Very interesting. It's a flat Earth model for the stars, luminaries. All right, Matthew, we're approaching our final few minutes, so please go ahead and address the viewers. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, Matthew is not reading the chat and stuff like that," but you
Oh
are on
no,
your
no, no,
phone,
no.
right?
Oh no, yeah. Hey, people in the chat. I can't see the chat. So,
Yeah.
can you put some up? I'll answer some really quick. It's just I
Yeah,
can't see the
it's
chat.
just someone saying Matthew not reading chat, LOL.
Yeah,
But because
I'm
I think you
not.
are on your
Yeah,
phone, right?
yeah. I apologize. Hey, people in the chat. I can't see anything other than what comes up on the screen, like how Eddie put up the that. Yeah. Hi guys. Yeah, I see that. What's up? What's up, Maria?
All right. So, guys,
Yeah. Sorry.
we are approaching our final minutes. So, Matthew, it was a pleasure having you here again.
Yeah, I love talking with you, man. These are some good conversations,
Okay.
and I like
Oh,
talking.
quick thing here about Lighting 300. Yeah, Lighting 300. A couple of years ago, I think 2 years ago, we had a video live, like we here in Japan and people in Brazil. We both could see the moon at the same time, and it was evening here, rising. We saw both the sun and the moon. So only possible on a flat Earth, not on a ball Earth. Impossible because on the ball Earth it's like 180 degrees, hiding from each other. But we
Well,
can both can see.
well, even on flat Earth, it's still pretty cool. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
still
man.
very fascinated by the moon and like how it comes to everybody, and I got my own theories about that, like the personal sun. I know other people talk about it too,
Hold
like
on, hold on, hold on. We got Russian vids in the chat. Shout out, brother. I do have a video. Let me go ahead and play this video. I had planned for
they
today.
live. I love
Yeah,
that
yeah, they
movie.
live truth. Shout out. I do have Russian vids. I was planning to play this video because we talked. So Matthew, hang on there. This is
Yeah.
Russian vids. Really important video. I was gonna play it today. I'm gonna go ahead and play. Let's watch this Russian vids right here. I have it. Okay.
With the connection
All
with the
right.
Falkland Wars and Deception Island, just north of Antarctica. You get a little bit of a close-up. And this is Deception Island here. Let's look at the relative closeness, if I can find it here. The tip of South America, and let's look at the Falklands. Now going back in time to the Falkland Wars in 1982, as I stated many times, the world is a stage. What was the Falkland Wars all about? And I believe, again, this is just a strategic point, the closest point to Antarctica, to the ring. And of all the continents, this is basically their base. I'm just taking a look at the UK overseas territories, and I find it pretty interesting. Like I said, with the Falklands, you have the South Georgia Islands, and they have this territory in red as part of their territory. Again, this is the strategic point. Talking about the royal family, the so-called elite that run this world, that own this world. Take a look at the U.S. Of course, you have New York, and York is in England. New Hampshire, you go to Australia even. It's still owned and controlled by England. Don't let them fool you and make you believe they're independent and sovereign. The New South Wales, Queensland, of course, all the territories in Africa that the royals own. Now let's take a look at this when it comes to Russia. So again, when I talk about the royal family owning it all, you see the connection with the royal family and Russia, going back in time with the Romanovs, and again taking a look at the UK overseas territories. Basically, they all should be marked red. Here's something I found interesting, of course, with the Scottish Rite and Freemasonry of the UK. Take a look at the Russian coat of arms. Do you see the similarities and how people can't see how they all connect and how the world is a stage. Now, getting back on topic with Deception Island, let's just take a look at this image here. This unusual island. Let's take a look. It used to be a whalers colony, and I found this pretty interesting. Take a little close-up look at this. What do you see? A little Illuminati pyramid, and these look like obelisks. So what's the deal with this? This is pretty interesting stuff. Now, taking a look at Wikipedia's page on Deception Island, which I find pretty interesting, and you get bit down to the history of it, where it states in the history the first authenticated sighting of Deception Island was by British sealers William Smith and Edwards Bransfield. This was back in January 1820. And we talk about the explorer, the American sealer Nathaniel Palmer. And I found this pretty interesting. In November of 1820, Palmer remained for 2 days exploring the Central Bay. Palmer was the first to name the island Deception. And interesting enough, there's no official explanation why they call it Deception Island. I find that very interesting. Like I've stated, we live on a flat earth, and this is part of the deception. The closest point, this island, to Antarctica, which is the ring around the world. So you can forget about the supposed Antarctica Treaty from back in 1961. The world's a stage. It's owned and controlled by the bloodline. Just take a look at the occult of this Antarctica Treaty meeting from back in 2007. You got the triple X's, like I said before in Pythagorean numerology. This is a hidden code for 666. And again, you look at the dates here. On the 30th to the 11th. In numerology, the 0 doesn't mean anything. You get 3 and 11. This is the cult of Freemasonry. Highest degree in the Scottish Rite of 33, of course. As I mentioned, the double-headed eagle. Some call it a phoenix. To me, it doesn't matter. It's all the same here with Russia as well. Again, going back here, like I said, only these supposed UK overseas territories were marked red. Forget about this. They own and control it all. Like I stated with Australia, you got New South Wales, you have Queensland, you have Russia, the connection with the Romanov family, you have India, of course. England had a huge role in India. You had all the territories in Africa. Get to the United States with, of course, District of Columbia, Columbia being a Masonic goddess. You have British Columbia in Canada. You have the country of Colombia in South America. And then you come to the gateway from Falkland Islands to South Georgia. Deception Island, like I stated, this is the gateway to the Antarctic edge. And as always, they leave the truth in plain sight. Just as you see with this movie title, The Antarctic Edge. And obviously, for those that know anything about the flat earth, the 360 ice wall. And also biblically, where it states over 50 times how there ends to the earth. And for anybody that denies what the Bible states, if you're a Bible believer, here in Job 26:10, he hath compassed, this is regarding the Creator, the waters with bounds, until the day and night come to an end. Like I said earlier, they leave all truths in plain sight for those that have eyes to see.
All right, guys. So shout out there. I had planned this for today. Now, that's Russian vids talking about the whole Antarctic Treaty and everything. Now, I have here, Matthew, the form DS4131. This is the U.S. Department of State Advanced Notification Form. Tourist and other non-governmental activities in the Antarctic Treaty area. Here in blue, information below should be submitted no later than 3 months prior to intended travel to the Antarctic Treaty area. So you need to submit this form 3 months before you plan. It doesn't mean that you're going to get it.
Yeah, they're just going to say no. All they're going to do is say no. And you know what? Did you share the video of the people that wanted to go to Antarctica and they were on like some type of cruise?
Yes, I did.
And without their knowledge, the company just decided to reroute them away. That's terrible.
And they did pay to go to Antarctica, and they were not allowed to go to Antarctica. So,
and you know what I think a lot? Okay, a side note. Have you seen that there has been a lot of what is it? like mechanical failures on planes, and like the doors
Yeah,
are
man.
popping
Yes,
open,
yes,
the
yes.
wheels are falling off, the planes are on fire. On the
Exactly.
media, they're showing us that a lot. Like they want to discourage people from traveling, like
Exactly, man.
scare the people, like don't get on a plane because the door's gonna fall off,
It's
or
just like the
something.
movie, right? The movie, The Truman Show, where there was this sign there, you know, a lightning can hit the airplane or something.
And that is scary. I mean, flying in a plane, that is pretty scary. I can
Yeah,
admit that. It's pretty scary.
yeah,
But yeah, they're discouraging people, and if a company can do that, I think that's terrible. Especially if the
right.
people paid the money, they signed the papers, and then
Yeah,
oh, now they're just not going to do it. And how
exactly.
do they appeal that? I mean, if the
Yeah.
order comes from the government, they
Oh,
can't
no,
appeal that.
yeah. So shout out to Jetta Martins, this guy also, man. There is a book. It's called The German Expedition to Antarctica from 1938, 1939. And he's translated this book from German to Portuguese and talks about like how the German scientists, they went there expecting to be on a globe on the bottom of a ball, and they changed totally their mind because what they saw there was nothing that proved Earth to be a ball, especially the so-called midnight sun. They did not find that midnight sun in Antarctica. So I do have.
Right.
I tried to find this book in English. It's pretty impossible. I found a version in German, but I'm looking forward to buying the Portuguese version because they talk about this uh, German expedition to Antarctica, and there's a lot of secrets there that haven't been made public. So shout out to Russian Vids. He was in the chat right now. I mean, a couple minutes ago. I did plan to show his video today, talk a little bit about Antarctica. It's just like 90 minutes is too short. We got so many things to talk about. So Matthew, now
Yeah, this is good
for
talking
real
with you.
now.
Wow.
Yeah, man, please go ahead and say your last words. We've been going on
Oh,
for an hour, 36 minutes.
I want to thank you for inviting me back to your show. I love talking with you, and apologize to the people in the chat. If they have any good questions, you could bring it up, and I wouldn't mind answering if they have questions. But yeah, I apologize to you guys. I didn't, I can't see it. I'm on my phone.
Yeah, but
Greater
that's okay.
sapien.
Perhaps you go later on the chat and you answer comments, okay?
Yeah, well, even if people are like trash talking or whatever, it's always an opportunity to
All right.
like answer questions and stuff. But just basically that, and your shows are really great. I enjoy
Thank
watching
you.
your shows
Appreciate
as well, and
Thank
I
you.
think that's it. I'm thankful to God, everything's going good, and I feel healthy. Praise God.
All right. So I do plan to have Russian vids here sometime. We've been having conflict in our schedules. He's always busy. He also is from the Bay Area, there where you live in California. But
Nice.
yeah, it's kind of difficult for us to find a time. But I look forward having him here again. It's always a pleasure. And Iron Horse, I do look forward having you here also as well. I always like your input from the land far and beyond, Australia.
Yeah,
And
not down under. He's not on the
no, no,
bottom
no,
of a ball.
far and beyond. So, guys, thanks so much. Some people are just joining in, but we're about to end our live stream. Was a pleasure. Shout out to Alain Horizonte. Please get better on your English so you can come here and talk all about thermodynamics, which probably it's the best weapon against gravity. Guys, thank you so very much. God bless. Matt, I'm going to go ahead and knock you off.
All right, yeah.
It's a
Love you,
pleasure,
man. Take
brother.
it easy.
All right, see you next time. Bye-bye. All right, guys, so thank you one more time. I love you all. It was a pleasure having you guys. Iron Horse, I don't know about greater saping. I haven't heard from him. He probably took a couple of, you know, and God knows what happened to him. So, all right, guys, let's close with Dave J. Caron. Please visit the store, support the channel, become a Patreon, and you'll find all the links below all of my videos. So, see you guys next week, or maybe a week after that. Bye-bye.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard, 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air view stratospherius, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on a helium balloon, with photos and instruments, sailed towards the moon, rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles up, 10 temperature, up a dead drop in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight, flat line separation of black from blue light, a world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light, wonderful, magical, awesome, yes, stealing our light. Wonderful, let there be light, supernatural, eternal, supernatural. Up we go, higher than rainbows, higher than mountains, above cumulonimbus, higher than air, high level horizon, 360 around us, but right round behind us, any height that you dare. The sun and the moon both revolve above around us, to forever short time pass intelligently there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, no more you deceive us, we see through you like air. Kipper and Picard were the first ever known to reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero cumulus, higher than air, a level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning rotation. Stars on the firmament, turn along around us, to forever short time past geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air. Mystics on a luminous light, fantastical, magical, bright, we see through you like air. Magical, angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. Never let fortune us forever beneath us. We see through you like air.